Hey everybody, welcome back. I am here to take you to the next step of what's going on in Operation Real-Time Conspiracy and to teach you the purpose behind a SITREP. A SITREP is also known as a situational report. It's something you often see in movies, you read about them in books. There's a lot of terminology that's tossed around about situations, situation rooms, when something becomes a situation, the difference between a situation and a scenario. So I want to kind of demystify some of that, bring some common vocabulary and common purpose to the importance of a SITREP. And then, of course, if you are participating in Operation Real Time Conspiracy right now, you will get a SITREP from me today on this video. Okay, so what is a SITREP and why is it important? So a SITREP it stands for, it's an acronym, essentially a combination of two words. It stands for a situational report. And that's essentially what it is. It is a report, a single objective piece of information that's given in a constrained period of time. And it pertains to a certain situation. So a sit rep is different than a scenario because a scenario is something that's more broad. It's something that's not very well defined. It's not constrained by time. For example, in Operation Real-Time Conspiracy, we are working and operating inside of a scenario. That scenario is a mock civil war between the North and the South in the fictional country of Naaman. That is a scenario. There are no time constraints. There are no fixed beginning and end points that you have to work within. It's very fluid. A situation is much more specific. In this case, the situation that we are dealing with is a series of civilian attacks against the capital city, Inamundi, which is under northern Naaman control. That is a situation. And everything we are doing as part of this Operation Real Time is confined by time. Those of you who are competing in that right now are feeling very much the pressure of that time. When you operate in the field, time pressure, time management, time worries, time concerns are the biggest, most impactful stressor that we have. Because not only are we dealing with our own time as operatives in the field, but we are dealing with whether or not someone else is in control of managing their time so that when our time comes to execute, they have completed the tasks they were supposed to complete, excuse me. So all of the stressors that you're feeling for time are absolutely real to the field. But I digress. So a situation report is a report about a situation, a specific time and specific objective information that has to do with a specific situation that is time constrained or geographically constrained or incident constrained. So if that's the case, then when do we use SITREPs? So SITREPs are very popular anytime there is a breaking or fast evolving situation. Think of a civil war. Think of military hostilities. Think of a hostage situation. Think of any kind of emergency or natural disaster. These are rapidly evolving situations where information can change from minute to minute, hour to hour, even second to second. In that kind of situation, a SITREP is incredibly valuable because it creates a single source of reference of information of objective fact that can be easily digested and communicated up the chain to decision makers. The whole reason behind a SITREP is not to tell people what you are doing or what you're experiencing, but rather to equip the people above you, the people making decisions above you, with the critical information they need in order to make sound decisions. That is the purpose behind a SITREP. The reason that a SITREP is so important is because without that rapid fire, objective, concise report about what's happening in a situation, it's very easy for senior leadership to become behind or be overcome by events or be left behind against what's actually happening in a rapidly developing situation. So consider, for example, if there is a coup happening in Madagascar, like what happened back in 2011, 2010, CIA director isn't going to be fully appraised of what's going on during that coup if all he's doing is waiting for the daily update each morning or waiting for the new presidential daily brief to come out. Instead, he relies on a SITREP that's managed by all of the leadership that goes all the way down to Antananarivo in Madagascar to give him information as often as he wants it, hourly, half hourly, 3 hours at a time, whatever it might be. He gets these rapidly evolving, concise reports about the situation, so he is always fully informed as close as he can be to real time. That is the purpose of a situation report. All right, so we've talked about what a situation report is. We talked about why it's useful. We talked about how they differ from a general update or a general report. So with that, let me go ahead and switch gears a little bit and start talking about the competition currently going on right now in Operation Real-Time Conspiracy. And I want to start by jumping to the leaderboards. What we have had happen in the last few hours is two back-to-back tasks that were time constrained, that required a great deal of critical thinking, analysis. We talked about using the analysis of competing hypotheses. So those of you who have been competing in Operation Real-Time Conspiracy have felt a lot of that pressure. As a result, the leaderboards have changed. So let me share some of the new standings according to the leaderboard. Now, if you are competing, you know how you have a shortcut to the leaderboard in the Discord channel. If you don't know where we are on Discord, but you're familiar with the app Discord, you can go and find the Spy Tribe server on Discord and be plugged in very quickly. You can also reach out to me directly, Andy at everydayspy.com. I can direct you with a link to that Discord channel, but regardless, here are our current standings. Our top three positions are now a three-way tie, but a three-way tie between three different teams. Blazing Saddles, 008, and the Invincible Fire Thieves are all competing now for the top spot in Operation Real Time. We have seen significant changes from Tenacious J, Multiversal Exports, and Northern Lights, who now bring up the second, third, and fourth positions, competing tightly with each other and very closely within 1 point difference from the top three three-way tie teams. We have the same folks who are trailing in the back end, and I have gotten some reports that folks are not getting the tasks in a timely way. So some of those trailing members might be making some headway soon as we get them missing information so that they can complete their tasks, and I can make sure that I don't penalize them for late or delayed turn-ins because of a technical glitch. So if you are one of those trailing members and you are already in conversation with me, then you know what to expect. If you are trailing and you aren't in conversation with me, then hopefully you will be in conversation with me soon. But that's where we stand on the leaderboard. Okay, so what is my SITREP for you right now? So here's the deal. If you saw the most recent news article about what happened in Amundi, then you know that the son of Soodle has basically called out Rowett transitional rebel government and said that they are intentionally carrying out war crimes against civilian targets in the north. RIS leadership and Rowett rebel leadership have made it a top priority to understand and resolve whatever the conflict is that's going on in the north, because we cannot stand to lose. This rebellion cannot stand to lose the foreign support and credibility that we have gained over the last year of combat against northern forces in Neman. It is a non-starter. It is a top priority. We have to understand what's going on. We have to understand how Rowett is or is not involved, and we have to do everything we can to resolve the issue on our side, because we cannot stand to lose our partners in Europe, we cannot stand to lose our partners in Africa, and we cannot stand to lose what future partners are considering aligning with us during this rebellion. So because of that, not only has the the director of RIS granted us emergency funding to execute any intelligence operations we need to in order to support your operation in this effort, but he has also launched a full-scale counterintelligence mole hunt within RIS headquarters and all RIS field offices to confirm and understand to what extent Rowett Intelligence Services officers are involved or possibly involved in these attacks in the north. Further, if this is some sort of rogue intelligence or rogue military intelligence or rogue rebel group, then Rowett rebel leadership and the RIS director want to find out who that is quickly so they can neutralize the threat from within. It is unacceptable for us to continue to allow Southern activities to impact northern civilian targets. If there's something we can control, we must control it. And you, at the forefront of this operation, are going to be responsible for helping us to communicate that to your asset in the field, as well as be part of all investigations that are happening within RIS. This is not a climate where we can allow ourselves to sit back and wait. We will lose funds. We will lose the momentum that we built over the last year trying to win our independence back from Amundi. Now, there's a formal notice that the director also wants to send out for all RIS officers to understand. If you have not been clear on this in the past, make sure you are clear on it now. RIS has a zero tolerance policy for anyone who participates in religious, gender, or age discrimination or prejudice. We do not hold any kind of aggression against anyone who is pseudolist or of any other faith. We do not limit ourselves to revocist or animistic or pseudolist or Christian or Muslim faiths. We are a free, independent rebellion fighting for a free country and equality for all. If you are not 100% on board with that understanding, you do not belong in the RIS. That is a message from our director. That is our message going forward as we try to maintain and continue to resolve what's going on in the North so it does not impact our rebellion in the South. That's all I have for today. Enjoy your SITREP, and I will see you soon.